r/Nosleep. Posted by u/annual_arachnid. If you're driving in the countryside and notice something out of the ordinary, ignore it. Even telling you is risky considering I didn't come upon this information in the most legal way, but too many people have died to stay silent. Why don't I tell you where exactly these roads are so you can avoid them? 2 reasons. I don't want thrill seekers going there, and most importantly, that could make the creature stronger. To be on the safe side, if you're driving in the middle of nowhere and notice something off, don't even acknowledge it. It thrives on attention. If you give it that, you will die and make it even more powerful. There have been 3 deadly incidents. The first was a year ago and the second and third have both been within the past 6 months. I paraphrased the original reports, removed any locations, and transcribed the audio files. Speaker, have to record this is unreal. What kind of bird is that? Companion, I've never seen anything like it. Speaker, this camera sucks. It's too far away to get a good look. I wonder if it fell into something and its feathers got dyed? The other birds all look normal. Companion, I don't know, but it's practically glowing. Then there's seconds or so where the pair doesn't talk, you can hear some background speech but nothing frantic until one of the pair screams. Speaker, oh my god. Do you see that? How the fuck is that possible? Companion, weapon. Unintelligible due to background noise. Speaker, it just transformed into a rocket. Hey, can you get us out of here? I don't know where it's. A loud boom in the background cuts her off. You can tell from the volume that while it isn't that close to the bus yet, it was no firecracker. Everyone in the bus screams and the engine revs as the bus driver tries to leave the area. Speaker, the bird is back in the sky like nothing happened. Is this some kind of a prank? Companion, no way. That had to have been something military grade. I don't know why it'd be being tested here, though. A louder boom and more screaming, the pair doesn't talk again for several minutes. Speaker, whispering, that shook the bus. Oh my god, we're going to die if we don't get out of here. It's up in the distance there, flying like nothing with the other birds. Companion, he said that we've passed the same signs 3 times, we're stuck in a loop somehow. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but I was wrong about it being military grade. I don't think any human could have made it. More yelling and then muffled speaking, presumably the bus driver yelling at passengers. Bus driver, drive through the fields, no other chance, God help us. You hear the bus swerve into the fields and about 30 seconds later, a final deafening boom. The audio ends there. The bus was later found and reported by a passerby, who understandably did not want to linger in the area. Once the local police arrived, they called in the feds, who sent it to an organization I will call the agency. The agency wrote the reports I'm summarizing. The bodies were still preserved despite the destruction of the bus, and showed no sign of injury. First 911 call, 3:41 p.m. Operator, 911, is there an emergency? Caller, yes. There's this truck. It's always in front of me. Operator, clearly trying to hide skepticism, sir, can you elaborate? Are you in danger? Caller, I don't know. I just noticed it but he's been in front of me for a while. I've passed it 2 times and it still ends up in front of me. It isn't passing me, I swear. It appears there every time like magic. Operator, can you tell me where you're located? Caller, redacted, I think. That's what the GPS says. Operator, thank you, we will dispatch officers to your location. It will be around 10 minutes. Can you stay on the line with me until then? Can you see the driver? Caller, the windows are tinted. I can't see who's in it. He's getting closer to me. I'm almost touching him now. I had to slow way down. Operator, are your doors and windows locked? Caller, yeah. Pause, fuck. I had to stop. He's too close. Every time I try to pass him he's right back where he was. Operator, it's okay, I'm here with you. Caller, fuck, he's driving at me now. He's driving at me. Operator, can you swerve out of the way? Caller, I did, but that was close. He's going to keep doing it, I'm dead. Operator, law enforcement is on their way, sir, it should be another minute or so. Caller, screams, oh fuck. Car crash. Operator, sewer? Second 911 call, 3:45 p.m. Operator, 911, is there an emergency? Caller, there's this car in front of me that's driving weird. I think they're drunk and it's making me nervous. Operator, could you tell me your location, ma'am? Caller, redacted, in, redacted. Operator, okay. Pause, muffled speaking, we were made aware of this situation a few minutes ago. Law enforcement is en route now. Can you see the truck? Caller, truck? It's an SUV. Operator, can you see the vehicle in front of it? Caller, there's no vehicle in front of it. It's flat land out here, I can see for a mile ahead. There's nothing, but he keeps swerving and passing like there's a car there. Operator, alright, stay far behind. Are there any turns you can make to get away from the situation? Caller, nope, it's a straight line for miles. Operator, okay. Stay on the line, please. Caller, whoa, he just almost swerved off the road. Operator, and you're sure there's no other vehicle? Caller, of course, how could I not see that out here? Pause, holy shit. The vehicle just crashed. Like, it's completely destroyed. Operator, what happened? Caller, it was so fast. It ricocheted like a front-end collision, but he didn't even hit anything. The car's smoking in the field now. I really don't want to go up and look. Operator, you don't have to. Can you hear the sirens yet? Caller, they're right behind me. Can I hang up? Operator, yes, ma'am. Thank you for your cooperation. Like the first incident, the body was preserved in freezing cold despite the police arriving immediately after his death. The connection to the first incident wasn't made until the third incident, which was later noted in the report as the biggest mistake of the investigation. Unlike the first two incidents, no audio recordings could be recovered. Once again, it was called in by a passerby. Two bodies next to a car, showing no sign of injury or decay. The theory is that the creature learned how to appear in human form and lured them, since the car was undamaged with two doors opened. The report notes that the creature is showing signs of evolution. At first, it could only appear in the distant sky, then on the road as a vehicle with no visible passengers. A human would be the next logical step. After examining the car, investigators were left with more questions than answers. The time on the car was frozen and a notebook and pencil were on one of the seats. Only one piece of paper had anything written on it. There were 83 tally marks, and the following written in messy handwriting. If you're reading this, it got us. I don't know how long it's been, the tally marks say over 3 days, but it feels like forever. We were driving when they appeared standing in the road. They just kept appearing again and again and again. We have to end it. I'm sorry. Another aspect came to light after the bodies were identified. The victims were never reported missing. This happens in ordinary cases, but it's unlikely these particular victims could be gone 3 hours with no report, let alone 3 days. They had young children, who they were on their way to retrieve from their grandparents. Both were doctors, with urgent appointments scheduled in the days they were missing. When the agency notified the families of the deaths, they at first had no idea who the investigators were talking about. After the investigators showed them pictures of the victims, they had reactions typical of grief and could not explain their previous confusion. Similar reactions happened when the investigators arrived at their workplace to question co-workers. The victims' social media profiles were inexplicably deleted as well, although other traces of the victims, offices, IDs, items, etc., were all intact and unaltered. This was the first incident where the creature began to erase evidence of its victims' existence. After the third incident, the agency classified, redacted, as an area of anomalous activity and permanently closed access off. They gave all witnesses hypnosis, leaving them with tragic but mundane memories of the incidents, and gifted the few households living in the area a hefty sum to relocate. Given the powers this creature has displayed, it's likely capable of expanding its reach. The agency knows this, but their hands are tied. How can you research a creature that kills anyone who pays attention to it? They ran robots through the area over 100 times and didn't find a single anomaly. This wasn't unexpected, since the hypothesis was that the creature is able to distinguish living beings, but it left them unable to do anything else given the agency's strict prohibition against human experimentation. The creature's method of selecting targets to appear to is unknown. The victims do not appear to have common traits, although it's possible a trait exists but hasn't been discovered. What I found most disturbing in the report was the last item on it. Reports from redacted, redacted, and redacted within the last month very similar to our entity. So far none were fatal and witnesses were given the usual hypnosis, but we know from experience how this escalates. Unknown whether this is the same entity manifesting itself in different locations, or different beings of the same kind, But either way, we need to rethink the idea that we can contain the entity. So yeah, don't think that you're safe just because you don't live near cornfields. I like to think the agency will get a handle on this eventually, but it will get worse before it gets better. It makes road trips a lot more boring, but I beg you, if you see anything weird when driving, ignore it. Especially if it seems harmless, remember that in the first incident it disguised itself as a beautiful golden bird. Stay safe.